Hey guys, this is the video of the opening of the Taramps Big Boss Base 8K. I'm gonna break the seal. You see it's nice and sealed. Ain't opening it. Open it up. This is what you get. Get a sticker. Dude, this thing is sweet, man. This thing is freaking solid. God damn, this motherfucker's heavy, bro. This thing's a brick, dude. It's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. When I got the box, too, I thought the same thing. I was like, man, this thing's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. This sucker's way heavier than my Sundown 4K, I can tell you that. It's a full bridge amp, though. Full bridge amps are typically heavy because they're in a small frame. So here you go. It comes wrapped in plastic. I don't know if you can see it right there. You probably can't, but it says 0.5 to 2 ohms. You got the RGB strips right here. This little button you press to turn it off or on and to change the settings. I think it's got 30 different settings, something like that. 30 or 40. Here's the terminals right here. It's got big 2-aught terminals. You ain't gonna have no problem getting that sky-high OFC oversized in there or some good MechMan cable in there. I always recommend sky-high or MechMan. That's pretty much all I use. I've been using sky-high power wire back before everybody else was, man. I've been using it since about 2013, man. This right here is it's got, as you see, it's got dual fans. It's got one fan here, one fan here. The fans are offset inside here, so one of them, not only are they not all the way up against the edge of the heatsink, they're one's here and one's back a little bit, and that's purpose to draw extra air, and then they come out the other side. As you can see, it's got a really nice heatsink. The heatsink, I don't know if you could tell, but there's smaller heat sinks here, and then there's a bigger heat sink, and that heat sink wraps around the edge. So you got a bigger gap here on the edge than you do as the side, and a lot smaller, 2 little tiny heat sinks, kind of like right here. So that's gonna let all your amp kind of reduce, you know, the heat on it and everything. Here's the bottom of it. And then on this side, got your crossover, got your input, your output. You can plug both these in technically on certain head units, depends what you got. I just use the splitter and plug it in, so you don't want to have a dangling loose RCA. The other thing about these amps are grounded to the frame, to the chassis. So when you're putting in these power wires, my recommendation is plug everything up before you connect this amp, because if you touch a power wire to the frame of this amp, not good, man. You can short out everything. So you want to be real careful. You got your remote input and everything. It did come with a bass knob. They sent me a bass knob / monitor remote, whatever you want to call it. These things are pretty nice. My radio is it's a Pioneer head unit, and I typically like higher voltage, so my radio is 4 volts. So you want to check the voltage on your RCA. The gain knob. Everybody thinks the gain knob is to turn it up and down to get more power. That's not what a gain knob is for. I want to put that out there. I've seen lots of videos of other people saying, oh, if you got to turn it up more than halfway, you're not getting enough power. That's not how it works. Whatever the voltage is of the output of your RCA, this is supposed to be set to that. So mine in this case is going to be all the way down to 4 volts. What the gain knob is for is to match the output of the radio's volume to the input of the amp. So when you put it to level 1 on your radio, it's at level 1 on the amp. If your radio goes up to 40, when you put it up to 40, your amp is at full tilt. Some people think it gives you more power because what it does is it's giving you more power at a lower volume. That's all it's doing. But you're essentially going to end up clipping your amp. That's why a lot of people wonder, why is my amp clipping? Well, instead of trying to make it loud at 15 or 16, if your head unit goes to 40, make it loud at, you know, turn it all the way up, turn your highs down, and then you'll see you'll get all that power up coming towards the end of the the volume spectrum. That's what it's for. So if you're, most radios are either 2 volts or 4 volt. If you got 4 volt, put it in there. These amps actually like, for whatever reason, they tend to like a lower voltage RC output. I like 4 volt. The higher the voltage, the cleaner the signal, in my opinion. So, well, not in my opinion, it is. But I also got the the Big Boss 3 here. Still sealed. I'm going to do a video on this one probably later on this week. And I'll show also when I do that one, I'll show you guys this. It's the little 800.4. This thing's tiny, man. You can fit this thing in your pocket. So good for 4-wheeler stuff like that or whatever you got. I might even put that one on my 4-wheeler. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and give me the thumbs up. Thanks.